Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into a serious and complex issue, the growing migration crisis at the U.S. southern border and its ties to the drug cartels. This topic is something that's been affecting millions of lives, and it's important to understand how these two issues are interconnected. So, let's break it down and take a closer look at how migration and drug cartels are fueling one another, creating chaos along the border and beyond. The United States is currently facing two significant, interlinked crises: a growing migration issue at its southern border and the ever-expanding influence of drug cartels. While these two problems are often seen as separate, they are deeply intertwined, each exacerbating the other and creating an even greater challenge for the country. In recent years, migration to the U.S. has surged, with people from countries like Guatemala, Honduras, and El Salvador fleeing violence, political instability, and poverty. The numbers are staggering, and the conditions these migrants face on their journey are harrowing. Unfortunately, many of these migrants become targets for criminal organizations, particularly drug cartels that dominate smuggling routes along the border. Cartels, traditionally known for their illegal drug operations, have increasingly become involved in human trafficking, exploiting migrants who are desperate for a better life. These cartels charge migrants hefty fees to cross the border, knowing that they hold the power over these vulnerable people. Once under their control, migrants are often subjected to unspeakable violence, sexual exploitation, and forced labor. The tragic reality is that the cartels don't just control drug trafficking, they also use the same routes for smuggling people, creating a dangerous environment where migrants are forced into exploitative and deadly situations. Alongside this human trafficking, cartels continue to smuggle illegal drugs into the U.S. They use the same pathways that migrants travel along, making the situation even more complex. Drugs like heroin, methamphetamine, and particularly fentanyl, a synthetic opioid, flood into the country through these routes. The opioid crisis has been fueled significantly by fentanyl, a deadly drug that is often manufactured in Mexico and trafficked by cartels. This dangerous drug has caused thousands of overdose deaths across the U.S., contributing to an ongoing public health crisis that shows no sign of slowing down. The violence in the region has only worsened, with cartels using brutal tactics to maintain their control. Kidnappings, shootings, and intimidation are common occurrences along the U.S.-Mexico border. Migrants who attempt to cross into the U.S. become pawns in a violent struggle between cartels, further complicating the situation. This violence doesn't just affect those trying to cross. It puts immense pressure on U.S. Border Patrol and law enforcement agencies, who are forced to deal with both the increasing number of migrant crossings and the need to stop drug trafficking. The system has become overwhelmed, and resources are stretched thin, making it difficult to address both issues simultaneously. The Biden administration's approach to the situation has faced heavy criticism. While efforts have been made to address the root causes of migration, such as improving conditions in the migrants' home countries, critics argue that more needs to be done to curb cartel influence and stop the flow of illegal drugs. Comprehensive immigration reform and more stringent border security measures are essential, but these must be paired with efforts to dismantle cartel operations, both at the border and within U.S. cities. Drug cartels, once mainly focused on the border, have spread their reach into U.S. cities, using violence and fear to control local drug markets. They now operate sophisticated distribution networks, and their influence extends far beyond the southern border. The widespread presence of cartels in U.S. cities contributes to rising crime rates and further destabilizes communities that are already grappling with the effects of the opioid crisis. Ultimately, these interconnected crises require a multifaceted response from the U.S. government and international partners. Addressing migration and drug trafficking requires not only stronger border enforcement, but also a focus on humanitarian support for migrants, increased resources for law enforcement, and international cooperation to dismantle cartel operations. Without these coordinated efforts, the cycle of exploitation, violence, and drug trafficking will continue to escalate, with devastating consequences for both migrants and American communities. Thanks for watching, everyone. This is a complex issue that affects so many people, and it's essential to have open discussions about it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think should be done to tackle these crises? If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and ring the bell for more content. Stay tuned for more insights on pressing global issues, and I'll see you in the next one.